Hey.
Take a girl and a guy, and they fall madly in love and form a family. Sprinkle in some counseling degrees and a doctorate, a dream of transforming relationships as we know it. And 20 years later, we give you power couple Dr. Ray and Jean Ketkodian. And this is their podcast, Couples Synergy.
Hi. Hello. Hello, everybody.
Did the key card in the stuff?
Oh, do you have the key card? No, we took it out.
Okay, because it's working now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. So, hello, everybody. It's Dr. Ray and Jean from Couples Synergy. We are here in Dingle, Ireland. So, all of our regular equipment just kind of blew the fuse in the hotel,
which is on European electricity.
So, so we are on our phone here for this podcast because, all the electricity went out. So here we are in Au Naturel in Dingle, Ireland. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Couple Synergy with Dr. Ray and Jean. Hi, I'm Dr. Ray.
And I'm Jean.
And this is our podcast about love, marriage, and relationships. We wanted to come to you guys live here from Dingle, Ireland, on our Valentine's Day anniversary trip, touring the entire country of Ireland. If you guys were wondering where it is right now, that is 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock here.
In Dingle, Ireland.
In Dingle, Ireland. Yes.
Actually, all of Ireland.
Yeah, that's right. All of Ireland.
Yeah. So we'll be having a pint.
So Dingle, Ireland is on the west coast of the country. We started in Dublin on Saturday morning, and then we drove down to Glendalough, which is a beautiful natural park there. There's actually a monastery ruins that are there too. And then we went down to Tipperary County, and hey, good morning. Good morning, Joyce. Your mom is saying good morning. And then we went down to...
Why are you telling where we went?
Oh, are we not going to tell them?
Well, you got to tell the whole story.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's the story of how we made our trip here. One of our friends kind of was asking, why Dingle? Why Ireland? We saw this documentary called The Irish Pubs. It's on YouTube. You guys can watch it too. And this was a documentary done in 2015. And what they did is they interviewed the owners of these pubs that were 100-year plus old pubs.
Most of them are 5 generations owned.
And they are spread out throughout the entire country. And so we watched this documentary. We kind of took note of all of the pubs and the owners. And we created an entire tour of the country, going to at least 24 of them. There's 28 that were on the documentary. So we have been to 5 now.
Yep.
First one was kind of a bust. They weren't open yet when we got there. But we have been to 5 in total. And Dingle is going to be one of them that we are going to go there tomorrow, I think 6. Hey, Gabe. Good morning. Well, good morning for you guys. It's actually 5 o'clock p.m. over here.
So actually our first experience, we walked into Clancy's. And Clancy's pub, we walked in and we couldn't find a seat at this little tiny bar. There's a little table like along the side of the wall. And we went and sat down, and within 30 minutes, we were talking to about 15 people and telling them our story and learning about their lives. And it was really what we were looking for, is to go to this small town and just meet the people. And we made some great friends already at Clancy's, Lorraine.
Yeah.
And Sabrina and Carl. And
they might even be watching this.
Yeah.
Arm's getting.
And so that was really, the idea behind this. And we were talking about relationships, and one thing we have living in a small town is we know our neighbors, we know the people that we live with. And it is probably one of the greatest things we can do for our emotional wellness is to have connection and have community. And so that's what these small town Irish pubs are. There's like, in a small town, I don't know how many people live in the town, but there's like 15 pubs. It's crazy, like how many. And actually at Clancy's, it was kind of funny. There was a funeral going on down the street, and you guys might have heard of Irish funerals, which are more being done in the home than in a pub.
Mm-hmm.
And so they actually locked the pub door. And when people got there, they had to knock to get in because they didn't want the drunk grieving people to come in and be obnoxious.
That would be terrible.
It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So, since then we've met a few more of the owners of the
Mhm.
pubs. The one we went to last night, the owners weren't there, and it was live music. And so we didn't really get to talk to anybody, but we did get to hear some great Irish live music. And it's kind of like an open mic. Like there's a band. There was
Music
three
group.
guys playing
Right.
music, a fiddle, a banjo, and a guitar.
And a guitar.
And then people that were just there would stand up and sing, and it was really cool and really beautiful. And so we have 24 that we're planning on seeing. The sixth one will be tonight in the next 10 days.
So, Valentine's Day, as you all know, is our anniversary. This is going to be our 26th. We like to go and celebrate, somewhere in the world and to really experience the world. We use our anniversary as that opportunity to do that. But one of the things we wanted to talk about today is the creation and celebration of traditions, which is a really important thing. We wrote an article that's kind of being publicized right now. And the article was really about why and what's important about celebrating Valentine's Day for married people. And one of the things we talked about was the importance of tradition. All right. And so most couples, one of the only traditions that they have for their marriage and their relationship is their wedding anniversary. And some couples don't even celebrate that. They have other traditions like, celebrating Thanksgiving or birthdays with family members and, Christmas and, the holidays. Those are usually things that couples create within their family as a tradition. And they have traditions that they, share and things that they do with their family members. But most often couples do not create a tradition around their relationship and their marriage. And it is absolutely essential. It gives you an opportunity to rekindle, reconnect, to kind of renew your vows and your commitment to each other. And so it is a really important thing to celebrate. And that's kind of why we wanted to bring you all in on our celebration too. Valentine's Day is on Wednesday. That is kind of a double celebration for us, but it should also be a celebration for you and your relationship as well.
If you've worked with us, we've explained to you the different parts of the brain and how our brain stores memory. And when we tell a story, that's, the prefrontal cortex, beginning, middle, and end. It's pretty easy to remember. But when we use our limbic system, our emotional brain, we remember that at the physiological level, a cellular level. That's why if you were alive on September 11th, 2001, you can really know, where you were when you found out about the Twin Towers and who was around you and what the weather was like. You remember it in such detail. And this is why when we create rituals and we celebrate and we create these traditions, we remember them, and so one of the things that we chose to do when we got married is our son was already 10 years old, and we didn't want to just get married and leave him. So we brought him with on our honeymoon.
Here, come over here.
You trying to show the...
No, I need to support my arm holding this phone up.
That's a good story. We're going to talk about that too. And so we brought him with us on our honeymoon. And every year since then, we've gone somewhere, we've traveled. Our second anniversary was unfortunately, my dad's funeral was that day. So we did a surprise trip a few months after that. But that's one of the things that's really easy for us to remember our anniversary because we're not at home, we're somewhere else. And so we're like, what were we that year? What were we that year? And that's been a really cool way for us to pass the time and the years together. And there's another tradition that Ray always does, and he does the
traditional
Tradition.
and modern
Of
gifts,
what is the
anniversary
gift,
gifts.
right?
Yeah.
And so every year he gave me the gift for paper and for wood and for tin and for steel and water and ceramic and leather, and like every year he does this, and it's really awesome. One year was it slate? It was
It was slate. Yeah.
slate, and he gave me coasters that are topographical maps of the mountains that are in front of our house, which is really cool. He's really good at this gift giving thing. That's your love giving language anyways. And so, all of those things help us remember and very fondly remember all these beautiful, good memories and good times that we're having together. And, that's what we encourage you guys to do. So this extra memory we had today, if you know Ray at all, he loves all his gadgets, and he's got so many gadgets. He can't get through security at the airport without being searched. And I'm like, can you pack? No, I got to have him. So, we get to the room and he sets everything up. And of course he goes to plug in a power strip and a fuse blows. And then I'm like, we're just going to have to do it on the phone. And then he's like, let me get the earbuds. It'll sound better. And I'm like, every time I see people with those earbuds, they get on, they don't work, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you think, or, that's for Kip and Bobby. Do you think, or, they're going to go bad? And I'm like, well, that's what I've seen that every time. And so what happened?
It didn't work. I don't even know if our sound is coming through. So you guys are going to have to let us know if you can even hear us. Or we're just kind of, our mouths are moving and you don't know what we're talking about. Yeah. So everything that could go wrong to, do this podcast from our room went wrong. Yeah. We blew the fuse in the hotel.
The great part about that is it adds to the story. It adds to the memories, right? When we first got on the first airplane we were going on,
Thanks, Joyce.
Ray got upgraded to first class.
Yeah.
And I
This is
didn't.
great.
And so he decided he was going to downgrade himself so he could sit next to me. So he downgraded himself, but guess who was next on the list?
So she was
So
upgraded
I was upgraded. And so
to occupy the seat that I had been upgraded to.
So, when you travel, you always have these things that just sort of happen, and it really does add to the story, and it's a lot of fun if you don't let it ruin your day, right? So one of the things that we had planned, because what is the year? What is
Thanks, Gabe.
What's
Your opinion means the most to me right now, and I'm sure you're cringing because we're on a phone.
and it's up and down. What's the anniversary gift this year?
So the anniversary gift this year is photos. So it's obviously it would have to be modern because it can't be before cameras were invented. But so photos, and we were going to have this great little slideshow for you guys. They're going to show you some pictures of us celebrating our past anniversaries. Well, as we said, we blew a fuse in the hotel room, so we can't show you that slideshow.
So let me just talk you through a little bit. The first thing we did when we got off the plane in Dublin is we went to a church that has the relic, the bones and some blood of Saint Valentine, which is a Catholic thing if you're not Catholic.
Look at
And we went and visited that, and we lit a candle and said a prayer.
yes.
For the prayer that I said was for all the couples we've ever worked with.
Who would have known, right?
Yeah.
That we celebrate our anniversary on Valentine's Day, and the relics or some of the relics of St. Valentine was actually in Dublin in a cathedral. I have to turn this now this way because Myra's saying that we need to face the window for front lighting. Thank you, Myra. I appreciate.
Is that better?
Does that look better for you, Myra?
So then when
I
we
do
went
have to
when we went to
put my hand on the
the gift shop at the church, the woman there, she gave us 2 masses a week for the next year where she's praying for us, or the church is praying. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yes.
And then we went to this monastery ruins that were built in the 10th century. And I wish you could see the pictures. They're very cool. When we get done with this trip, we'll put a video up of everything we did. But that monastery is really cool. And I think there was a man, Father Kevin or something, that went there on a retreat by himself. You can imagine 1,000 years ago by yourself on the shores of this beautiful river in the hills of Ireland. And then he created, there was a full church and housing, which housing was like an 8 by 8 foot stone room with a stone bench. What was that for? I don't know. Anyways, very cool to see that and to see how, people were living way back then. It was very, very beautiful. It was very enchanting. The area was the moss, which is grown all over these huge trees and the rocks. It was really beautiful. And then we went to our saloons, right? The first one.
The first saloon.
Yeah, Clancy's in E. Butterfield. And, then we went and saw a cave. So we're not just going to bars and bar hopping, but we're doing lots of other kind of stuff and meeting people.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll be seeing Dingle Crystal, which if you guys are familiar with Waterford Crystal, people mostly know that for sure. But there was a craftsman from Waterford Crystal that opened up his own crystal shop here in Dingle, and we'll be seeing his place and his operation and getting some mementos for our anniversary trip.
And one of the first things he did when he came to Dingle is he built the chandeliers that are in the lobby of this hotel, which is why we're staying at this hotel.
And this is the Benner's Hotel in Dingle. So we'll be ending our trip on the 21st. On Wednesday for our anniversary, we will be up by Galway. And so we'll be visiting Galway and celebrating there. But again, back to, why we're doing this and why we're doing this little impromptu podcast to kind of get you guys involved here. But it's really to encourage you all to create traditions, create celebrations in your marriage, in your relationship. Valentine's Day is not just for people dating. And many
or
of you,
little kids in school,
or little kids in school. And many of you may not know that Valentine's Day actually was started being a celebration of love in the 1400s in France. And so that was a time when they actually created a whole feast and celebration. And St. Valentine was actually killed and was a martyr because he was marrying couples against the emperor's wishes
of Rome.
Yeah, the emperor of Rome.
The emperor wanted the men to stay single because if they got married, they had to stay home with their wives for a year to begin a family. That was kind of the law. And so if these guys were married, they couldn't go fight. And so
he would marry them in secret and, was put to death because of it. So Valentine's Day is a time that not necessarily just for little kids passing out sweethearts and cards and Hallmark cards, but it is a time to really celebrate your marriage, your relationship, to renew your commitment to each other, right? Because what we know about the wedding ring is that it's circular because that wedding vow, that bond that you created together and the vows you set together, they renew every day on a daily basis. And if you are not growing together, you're dying. That relationship is dying and withering away. So it is something that needs to be attended to. It is really hard to do that when you've got kids, when you've got, a household to run, you've got bills to pay. And so a lot of times our relationship takes a back seat.
And here's a challenge. Whatever anniversary number you're on, go find the gift that's coincides with that year and figure something out. You got 2 days. To really celebrate Valentine's Day.
And it doesn't have to be really big.
No,
you could do like something really small.
Yeah, if it's paper, you can make a paper snowflake.
There you go.
Can your paper one to me, he took our first photograph that we took together and he turned it into a puzzle. 2 things. I love puzzles. So that was good. Gift and a puzzle.
Switch arms again.
Can you turn the phone around just so they can see outside?
Hurts.
If it works.
Let's see.
So this is the west coast of Ireland, and we're pretty close to the Atlantic Ocean, which we saw on the way in, and it was really beautiful and windy.
Very quaint towns driving through Ireland. For those of you who are kind of squeamish about driving on country roads really
Not squeamish
fast.
if you get sick. if you get motion sickness,
I'll tell you.
Ireland's
This is a
not for you.
26th country. It's a 26 and our
That
26th
you've driven
anniversary.
in. Yeah.
Isn't that wild? So it's the 26th country that I've driven in, and it's our 26th wedding anniversary. That's wild. So, yeah, driving here on the other side of the road, and they're driving at like 60, 70 miles an hour down this road that is not meant for two cars at all.
No, you will see that when we finish the video. I did a lot of driving videos, and you'll see that. And then they turn just go shoot, and you're on the wrong side of the left side of the car and the left side of the road, which is opposite. So it's extra. You have to think a lot. I just sleep while he drives. It's pretty easy for me, and I don't get motion sickness, which is great. But if you do, you might. I did feel a little bit flashy.
Yeah, but it was very nerve-wracking. So we're going to be here in Dingle for 2 nights, so that makes me a lot more comforting because we can just kind of relax a little bit.
You used to have an hour drive tomorrow to get to those 3 pubs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us on our anniversary special. Our anniversary is in 2 days. We're going to be at the Cliffs of Moher.
Cliffs of Moher, yeah, that'll be
For our
on the
anniversary.
14th.
And I'm sure we'll do a post that day.
Yeah, and Gabe, I'll probably do a drone footage from there because it's allowed. So
If the wind doesn't blow it right
if
off
the
those
wind doesn't
cliffs.
take my drone away.
It seems to rain. This is a cool thing. It seems to rain at least once an hour, right? Something like that.
And there are
There are
rainbows
everywhere because it's foggy and there'll be rain and then the sun will pop out.
We
just a
haven't
little
found
bit.
the pot of gold yet, but we're looking.
We're looking.
Yeah.
They should be everywhere based on those rainbows. So it's been very magical to be in Ireland, and this has been a very interesting and fun trip, and I'm really looking forward to the other 17 pubs that we're going to go to catch up with them and see how they're doing.
And, hello to all of you back in the States, and hello to you in Ireland.
Our new
Where you
friends.
guys are, watching this too. So it was really wonderful to meet you guys, and we're looking forward to meeting future Ireland residents, Irish residents.
peoples. So we're going to go to dinner, and it's 5:00 here, so we'll probably have a pint.
5 o'clock somewhere.
In a
Cheers
jar.
to all y'all. So thank you very much for joining us on Couple Synergy today. Our passion is in helping couples and people have happy and healthy relationships. And this podcast gives us a fun way of bringing our knowledge and expertise to you, our listeners.
And let us know what is the gift that you end up getting your partner based on the traditional year.
Yes, and if you have any questions or for more information about Couple Synergy, visit us on couplesynergy.com or send us an email at contact@couplesynergy.com. Until next time, synergize your life and synergize your love.
You have been listening to Couple Synergy with Dr. Ray and Jean Ketkodian. Couple Synergy was recorded, edited, and produced by Dr. Ray and Jean Ketkodian. Voiceover and music entitled Breathe and Let Go was recorded and composed by Gina Gonzalez.